had turned into unstoppable howling monsters hungry for blood and had broken their chains. It had been a slaughter. Even the demon gouger of faces had been unable to stand against them and had been defeated and forced back to its own dimension. Worst of all, Rayanne had lost possession of the one member of the Seagrave family who mattered, Erin Seagrave, the only female werewolf in North America, the female changeling of prophecy. Her blood was key to everything. And now she was free, and all because of Rayanne's cursed foe, Texas-Coatl, the Jaguar Knight. Life was so bitterly unfair. She'd need a scapegoat, someone to blame for this loss. But who? She alone had survived. She alone would be held responsible. Rayanne shuddered as she entered the cockpit. The early morning sky was bright blue and cloudless, but did nothing to lighten her mood. The blessed twins' anger was legendary, their spitefulness without measure. If they ate her alive, it would be a kindness. "How long?" she demanded, making the question sound like a challenge to the pilot's skill. Her nose wrinkled in distaste at the smell in the cockpit. Sweat and fear wrapped in old man stink. She grimaced, breathing through her mouth. Of course, the pilots were old. Only 2 men knew how to pilot such an ancient plane. She didn't dwell on the irony that she was much older than they were, despite her middle-aged appearance. The head pilot, a man in his 70s with long, scraggly gray hair and a wild, bushy beard, kept his eyes forward as he answered, speaking in the most respectful of tones. "Mother, it will be another 2.5 hours. "So long?" "We can only push the engines so hard, Mother." The co-pilot, another graybeard, but one with glasses so thick she was amazed he could see it all, stared at the controls, wisely keeping his mouth shut. She sighed. If she forced them to push the aircraft beyond its limits, she'd only risk her own life. Besides, arriving earlier only hurried her own doom. "Let me know when we're an hour out," she ordered, turning away. "Mother," said the flight engineer, a thin man with a face shiny from sweat. He was younger than the other 2, but not by much. "What?" Before you boarded, just before the incident. The explosion at the bunker and attack at the hangar." "What about it?" she snapped. "One of your children brought 2 duffel bags filled with what he said were valuables, plunder taken from the succubus's lair. The child never came back, but the bags—" Chara succubus's talismans and other potential items of value taken from her home in Fresno, Rayanne remembered. She had only given the items a brief glance earlier, so occupied had she been with moving the Seagraves to the Aztlan Empire for the ceremony. Perhaps this isn't a complete failure. "Where are the bags?" "Secured in the tail, Mother." "Show me, fool." He practically flew past her, so eager was he to obey. She followed him to the rear of the aircraft, where 2 duffel bags set secured to the fuselage within a cargo net. "Open them and then leave." "Yes, Mother." Alone with the bags, Rayanne knelt and rummaged through them. Many of the objects resonated with magical energy, and some were clearly powerful talismans. Chara Succubus had been not only a Grandmaster mage, but also a collector of magical artifacts. Most of the items Rayanne did not know, but she could guess as to the purpose of some. Others she would need to study first, if she lived to do so. One talisman, though, she recognized in a flash of excitement. She lifted a brightly burnished bronze bracer studded with emeralds and other precious stones the size of her fingertip. Her breath caught in her throat as she held it up. The bracer of Matriarch Helka? There had been rumors Chara possessed it, but Rayanne had never believed them to be true. Rayanne grinned, holding the talisman against her chest like a babe. Why had the succubus never used it? The fool! Hadn't she styled herself a lover of animals? Could Rayanne barter the bracer to save her life?